I'm really excited for this. I genuinely am. I'm very, very excited for this because I'm really looking forward to this deck. Now, is it maybe because this deck draws a lot of cards and seems very grindy? Yes, that might be the reason, but I really want the Clown Clan deck to succeed. At the moment, it's being played a little bit in the OCG, but not a crazy amount. It's definitely not among the top tier decks at the moment. But I guess we'll see if these new cards from Chaos Origin are going to change that. Now, the first one here is a new level 5 Pendulum monster. And the important thing to point out for this card is it's actually not from Chaos Origin. It's some sort of promo. I don't know exactly where they're getting this. This is like the other two. I think it's 3 cards total. The other 2 are from Chaos Origin, which is the next core booster set. But this one is some sort of promo somewhere, which I guess we don't know exactly where we're getting this card. But Clown Clan Hat, level 5 light Beast Warrior Pendulum Effect monster, 1900 attack, 800 defense, pendulum scale of 7. Pendulum effect, you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can send a Clown Clan card from your deck to the grave, except the pendulum, and if you do, special discard. Also, you cannot activate the effects of monster specials from the extra deck or extra deck until the end of the next turn. Monster effect, monsters your opponent controls lose 1500 defense while you control a tribute summoned monster. If this card is tributed, you can activate one of these effects, shuffle all pendulums on the field and extra deck into the deck, or special a Clown Clan from your deck or extra deck. This is really good, isn't it? Isn't this another 1-card starter? What there was one card. Very quick. I think this is a starter because you send, which card do you send? There's like one of them has a graveyard effect. The ritual monster. If this card is tribute, no. I think it's one of the spell traps. You can banish this card from your grave, ritual summon a Clown Clan from your hand. Okay, this is not that. You sent the new trap. Oh, okay. Maybe I need to read all of them until I can. Okay. I thought they already had. Maybe I was thinking of this one that had a graveyard effect. All right. So this I think this is a good draw. If this makes it a starter, I guess I have to check that first. But this completes with the new link and the new pendulum. This is now it now has every single extra deck mechanic or special mechanic in the game, right? So we have removal for pendulums now, and also special one from deck or extra deck is pretty good, ignoring the summoning conditions. Clown Clan Drish, link 2 light warrior, link left and bottom. Needs 2 ritual, fusion, synchro, exceed, and or pendulums. You can tribute summon. Your tribute summoned monsters can make a second attack. If this card is tributed, you can activate one of these effects. Return all links on field and grave, or each player shuffles their entire hand into the deck. Then they draw the same number of cards they shuffled. Okay. This feels like a card that you mainly use for the removal effect for links, because of course link is a very, very important mechanic. Change roll. Yes. But it would have to be very, very good timing for you to do this, right? Because Droll cannot be activated at any time. So basically what you would have to do is you would have to set this up on the board. And then when your opponent activates a searcher, you have to chain an effect that tributes this card, right? So like your opponent activates reinforcement of the army. You have to then chain a tribute summon to tribute this card. Then they resolve their search. And then on the next chain, this would trigger. And then you can chain Droll. Right? Which technically does work. It's not the hardest thing to do in this deck. So if it does play Droll and Lockbird, that would be possible. Which is potentially really toxic. So I hope Droll and Lockbird is banned by the end. I mean, that's the thing, right? This ability is definitely not too broken, right? If both players shuffle their hand into the deck and then redraw the cards, that is not too powerful, right? The problem in this equation is 100% Droll and Lockbird, not this type of effect, right? you lose your hand as well. Yes, I guess that's the other part, is you also hand loop yourself. But if you're going first and you have a board, that is a trade that you would be willing to make, right? Like that would be something that like, okay, well, I have a board, so if we both lose our hands, I'm still winning the game, right? Now your opponent could play around it by like setting some spells or whatever before searching, if this is known, right? So like if you set this up on the board, it's pretty telegraphed, right? It's like when you summon this, then your opponent knows they need to be aware of it, but yeah. Okay. Clown Clan Finale. Normal trap card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control a tribute summoned monster, you can discard any number of cards, then target that many face-up cards on the field, destroy them. Ooh. You can banish this card from your grave and tribute a ritual, fusion, synchro, exceed, pendulum, or link from your hand or field. Add a Clown Clan monster from your deck or grave to your hand with an original level, rank, link rating that is not equal to the tributed monsters. The first part of this card is really nice because this card draws a lot of cards, and then you can set this in your end phase. And this basically gives you a very flexible form of removal. You can this reminds me of Arthalion in that way, right? Because you can choose how many cards you want to pop. Like if you have a crazy amount of card advantage, you can just discard like 5 cards to pop 5 cards. But sometimes it can be as simple as like discard 1 to pop 1, right? Which is nice. That's neat. And then the graveyard effect, hold up. So during your main phase, send a Clown Clan card from your deck to grave, except the pendulum, and if you do special, discard. So you oh, this is a broken starter now. Oh my god, the combination of the pendulum monster with the trap is insane, right? These two together are crazy. So you activate this in the scale, you activate the effect, you send this from deck to grave, this summons itself, then you use the trap effect in the graveyard to tribute this, which is going to let you add a Clown Clan monster that is not a level 5, which is all of like the other main deck ones. You can choose the level 1 ritual, or you can choose the big one. And that's added to your hand. And then because this was tributed, you can special a Clown Clan from your deck or extra deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. That is really good. That is a really good starter. Now, I could see this deck really needing this because like so far the amount of starters, we have a decent amount of starters for Clown Clan, but more starters / extenders is always good. And now this basically completes the archetype, right? Because now they have removal for every matchup, right? No, it doesn't matter which summoning mechanic your opponent uses. You can shuffle rituals, pendulums, fusion, synchro, exceed, and link, because now they have everything. They get a new consistency tool, a new starter / extender, and a new trap card that can facilitate your plays on the first turn, but also interrupt the opponent on the opponent's turn. And even the graveyard effect, if you don't need it to play on your own turn, you can banish it from the grave during your opponent's turn. Since it's a trap card, it's a quick effect. You can use it to summon on your opponent's turn as well. That's good. That's good stuff. Oh, is this meta? Is this meta fodder? Is this meta deck material? I hope so. Ooh. It does. It's really hard to tell because this deck, of course, comes with very, very harsh restrictions, but it also comes with some really broken synergies with some floodgates, which they definitely could play. That's my least favorite part about this deck, right? Is that like it has synergies with like Vanity's Fiend and stuff like that. So like there's a world where this goes wrong and people start playing it with those cards as well. So I'm a little hesitant about that. But at the same time, the archetype itself is not really at fault for all the floodgates existing. So I would say like, okay, sure, then ban Vanity's Fiend and Vanity's Ruler. It is really hard to tell because the deck functions in a really, really weird way. But these cards seem really good to me. This feels like the exact missing pieces for the deck, right? They were missing some consistency and starter potential, which they now got. They are closing the gap of not having Pendulum and Link as removal. This is in general a really good card. And this is also additional interruption that has great synergy with the deck because it requires cards in hand, which you're going to have a lot of because the deck draws a lot. And it also is layers to your end board, right? Because you can do both effects on the same turn. So like you can pop some cards and then you can still perform a tribute summon later. Or not tribute summon, but you can tribute something later, which could give you the... Basically being flexible as to when you're tributing your extra deck monsters is really important too, right? Because in order to get the removal effect of all of them, you need to tribute them. And so if you can choose the moment in which you tribute these very freely because you have a quick effect trap in the grave, that is really good, right? Because you can then at any point tribute your link monster to shuffle all the links, or tribute your exceed to shuffle all the exceed, or and so on and so forth, right? Cool. Awesome. I'm not disappointed at all. I'm very happy about these. These are very powerful. I think this is exactly what the deck needed. And I mean, look, I was going to play this deck no matter what. I was going to play this deck even if these cards sucked. So if these cards are good, then, you know, the better for me. But I was already convinced after the first wave of cards that I was going to like this deck. So, I mean, hey, we'll take it. I'm going to be a clown after Chaos Origin releases, I suppose. I'm going to be a clown main. All right. Well then. Good stuff. Would it be a going second deck? I don't think so. I think it wants to go first. I don't think it wants to go second. I think it has the potential to be solid going second because of all the removal effects, but it definitely wants to go first.